Hello everyone and welcome to Apex Racing TV's coverage of the iRacing official IMSA Sportscar Championship here for round number 6 of the championship here at Daytona International Speedway. My name's Scott Newton. Alongside me tonight as always is Daniel Leet. Welcome Daniel. Uh, Daytona, one of those tracks that certainly has some technical challenges out there, but certainly should provide a lot of opportunities for overtaking. What are your thoughts happening heading into this event tonight?
Yeah, good evening, Scott, and to all the viewers tuning in. Look, mate, I love Daytona. I think it's a great circuit to get around. Obviously, we've got the Daytona 24 only a couple of weeks away now, so a good chance for all these drivers to get in some last-minute official practice. But no, certainly a track, as you say, provides a little bit of challenging issues, especially on the infield, but one that provides certainly a good lot of racing and plenty of potential for overtaking for the drivers.
Certainly, we've just been through qualifying, sorting out some technical issues that I had before the stream where it would not hold any kind of picture. So yeah, thankfully I was able to get it started before the race here tonight. But about to go through qualifying now, and Heiko Kalvenbach takes the overall pole position in the prototypes with a time of 1 minute 36.909. Alongside him is Cameron Dance. Don't think he's at TTL Esports now, but he sits in the second position. Lance Loomis in third, Taylor Lane in fourth, Lockie Brown fifth, Chris Harvey in sixth, and rounding out the Daytona prototype field is Alexander Veldman. In the GTE standings, we have Daniel Juncadella on the pole position, Kirill Verhey in the second position, Ramez Azam, series regular in the third position. Fourth goes to, just cut one away, sorry, Morten Sturregard Feltsen in the fourth position. Jasper Drillica for the Grippers Racing Team in the fifth position. Troy McGuire in sixth. Alexander Sheridan, Patrick Sujet in the seventh and eighth position. Max Smoltino, Govan Keeney rounding out the top 10. Yellow Walters in the 11th, and Fabio Rule in the 12th position. Johan Hellemans in the 13th position. Alan Day in the 14th position. Ben Snell in the 15th position. Richard Corthrall, Lennox Drolet, Mercier Alexandri, and Dennis Fielder running out the GTE field. In the GT3 field, we got Louis Paulo Gallon in the pole position, Dominic Ferreras, Elliot Biddle, Clint Smith, Christopher Zolichling, Sutherland, and then the rest of the drivers on your screen right now.
It's great to see tonight too. A really good size field for the Daytona prototype. 7 cars out there tonight, and really good participation for that one. GTE and GT3, as always, plenty of good runners in that one as well. I think the big one we're going to keep an eye on, Daniel Juncadella, professional driver coming in out of position in the BMW. Keep an eye for him later on as well, Scott.
Yeah, certainly with Daniel, he's been right up at the pointy end of the field very consistently each week. So certainly be watching out for him during the race. Sadly, last week I don't think that he had the best of results at Road America, but certainly with the pace car in the pit lane right now, and we're underway for 45 minutes of racing here at Daytona International Speedway, and looks as though that Cam Dance has got the jump on Kalvenbach into turn 1. Taylor Lane up one position as well, so he'll go around the outside of Lance Loomis. In the GTE field, we've got Daniel Juncadella getting the jump over Verhey, Azam, Sturregard, Feltsen, Jasper Julika in the fourth position moving up, and in the GT3s, all of them starting very, very close together actually. Louis Paulo Gallon holding off Dominic Ferreras and Elliot Biddle running at the top 3. So all of the cars looks as though they've got a fairly clean start apart from Lars Martin Robert, who has fallen back 4 positions, but other than that it's been a fairly clean start between all of the classes.
Yeah, really good. Traditionally, we have seen a few incidents on the run into one as you drop down off the embankment, but great to see everyone getting through relatively unscathed.
Yeah, certainly we've got Cam Dance, our overall leader at the moment, getting all sorts of pressure applied to him by Colvenbach, heading into the bus stop for the first time. The gap is at 10th and a half of a second, and navigating the bus stop successfully for the first time. But it looks as though that Cam Dance may have got the slowdown penalty for that, and I think he has. So Colvenbach will lead lap number 1, and we'll see whether Taylor Lane will get back up into the second position. But it looks as though that Dance has cleared that slowdown penalty. And see that Smoltino has also gotten that slowdown penalty as well. So a couple of the drivers falling victim to the ever-present slowdown penalty. You've got to watch very, very closely for that. But Cam Dance is in the pit lane, so I'm not sure what happened to him.
Well, the guys do have to make the one stop, so probably not a bad opportunity, but I think that's still very early on to come through and get that one done. As you can see, some really strong battling a little further down. Max, Smoltino, Jelly, Walters, all going at it. The guys 3 wide around the outside of turn 12 there, and this is a pretty tight little pack down here in the GT. As you can see, Ben Snell running a bit wide as well. There's some contact in the back shot as well, so we'll keep an eye on that, but that's unfortunate for Linux Drottle, and he'll come back, lets everyone through, so smart awareness just to clear that field.
Yeah, certainly. With tonight's race actually being 1 hour, seeing on the timer there, certainly going to be a bit of an interesting race, given that with the extended race format here tonight, I know that for a fact that the the prototypes won't make it on. Assuming that it's a unrestricted tank size, I'll have to pit around the 45-minute mark. Having done the major series 2.4 race here on the Saturday, certainly got a bit of knowledge from that race coming into tonight. But just looking a little bit further up as well, battle for the second position in GTEs at the moment. And actually this is for the lead. Juncadella's got a 0.2 of a second gap over Azam, who's made it up into the second position. Clint Smith has fallen into the pit lane as well. It's as though he's had some potential contact or a mistake from somewhere, but sadly he's falling down the timing screen right now.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for Clint. We know traditionally he's been very strong in this category and put up some fantastic results, so that'll be quite disheartening for him. But GTE battles at the moment, Juncadella, Armez, Bailey and Drickler, not too far apart. Those BMWs looking very competitive around this circuit. I actually thought they might have suffered a little bit in outright pace comparative to the Ferrari just through some testing I'd seen for the 24, but this week they seem to be on pace pretty strongly.
Yeah, certainly with the straights that have with the huge amount of stress that the Daytona has, certainly staying within the draft is at utmost importance for the drivers behind, because then you're letting the car in front cut through the thick air, and you're definitely going to be saving some fuel behind the car ahead, whether that be the first place or further down the field. So then it looks as though that potentially Azam looking for the fuel saving strategy to then have less time in the pit lane, but certainly got to stay within at least half a second to a second to be able to take full advantage of that. Just looking further back now, we've got Troy Maguire and Patrick Sujet. This is a battle for 7th and 8th position at the moment, so the Ford trying to put pressure on the Ferrari.
And a strong battle there. You can see Cam Dance too, just in the back of frame. These guys are content with a spun out car, and unfortunately Cam Dance gets involved with it. That was Morton Felton sitting there, so that'll definitely impact Cam Dance. I wouldn't be surprised, and he's unfortunately, it looks like he had further contact, so he's going to really hurt himself tonight. Not going to be a great result, but what we can see is a lot of guys really starting to bunch up as a result of that.
Yeah, so gonna try and get that on replay if I can, see what kind of here we go. Let's see if I can bring it up on replay right now. Okay, so got the kinetic racing car on the outside there, and it looks as though that the Ferrari of Felton just lost it into the pit wall there, and with Cam Dance just looking to take the inside line, sadly he found that stricken Ferrari there, and nothing he could really do there. So certainly unfortunate for both of the drivers there.
Yeah, it's a difficult corner coming in there, especially if you're the inside car. You can make quite a lot of passing runs on the inside, but if you do snatch that rear brake just a touch, it will spin it sideways. You see it as a result there. But for the guys that are able to do it and give you that little bit of awareness and space, certainly pull off some really nice moves. Lewis Gallen out front as well, again in the AMG. He's got himself a little bit of a train behind with Dominic Ferraris, who's very quick in these cars as well. And you can see them already working on the back of some of that GTE traffic in front of them.
Yeah, just looking at the lap times between the back of the GTE field and the front of the GT3 field, it seems as though that the front of the GT3 field are actually about half a second or a second quicker, as we've got contact at Snell and Alexandri trying to get through the GT3 field as well, trying to at least try and gain some track position, but it looks as though that Snell was in the background. He made his way back to the pit lane due to damage.
Yeah, it looks like also we had one of the IMSA cars off on the run out of turn 1 as well, able to rejoin, and no major loss there. But the car's looking really good out here tonight. A lot of reflection as the lights come up, the sun goes down. It's probably about the right time for these drivers. And with the track temps, thank you, Scott, the track temp 22 degrees at the moment, so tyres will be pretty well up to speed right now, and this will be the perfect time to get the most out of them.
Yeah, certainly with the sort of evening conditions here we have today, there's going to be quite a lot of grip. Lap times for the prototypes are roughly what I would have expected, potentially a little bit faster at this time. I was certainly expecting sort of mid to high 37s, but Colvin back at the moment, best time 1 minute 37.1, and Loomis with a 37.5 fastest lap. At the moment they're going a little bit slower than that. Colvin back on a 37.6 last lap, but Loomis and Lane back into the 39, so potentially a little bit of battling there.
You can see this train with Gallen and Ferraris really close together as far as outright pace goes. Looking at the lap times last time by, Ferraris with the aid of that draft 0.05 of a second quicker, so absolutely nothing in it between these two. And they're dragging along Elliott Biddle as well in that black Mercedes, the matte black Mercedes just behind here. So these three, as far as lap times, very, very competitive.
Yeah, certainly with Biddle actually going about 2.5 tenths quicker. Certainly